So hello dear students, I am Praveen Tripathi welcoming you in your IT session, or you can say in your computer session. So in the pre-term exam, we had done the chapter 1, which was about the computer networking, and I'm hoping that everyone has cleared his or her phenomena about the computer programming. So now it's time to start the chapter number 2, which is about the cascading style sheet, also known as the CSS. So students, in 7th class, in 6th class, we learned the basic of HTML. HTML is nothing but a hypertext markup language, which is being used to create web pages, or simple web pages. So when we use the HTML, that means the hypertext markup language, we also use a cascading style sheet. Just like as you can understand, when we build a house, we build a house with the help of bricks, cement, but for making our house beautiful, we apply the POP, we apply the paints, and we just put some kind of beautiful small things to our house, so our house can look so beautiful. As similar in the phenomena, when we create a web page, by HTML, you can create a web page only. It will look so basic, it will look so just genuine. But if you want to look your website, your web page so attractive, so beautiful, then you have to apply the cascading style sheet formula, cascading style sheet, that means the CSS. So I think this is the preface which I have given you. Now it's time to understand the chapter 1 line by line. So a web page, first we need to understand what is a web page. Just like if you will talk about a website contains several kind of web pages. A website contains several kind of web pages. What I mean is the home section, the about us, the contact, the departments, the facilities they are providing. So web pages is like when you open the book, you can find the different kind of pages. As similar to the website, in website there are maybe one web page, or there can be more than one web pages. So as you know that web page runs on the web browser. Web page or the website both run on the web browser. So whenever we want to create any kind of web page, we use the HTML language. And yes, if you want to enhance the look of your HTML web page, difference element, then we have to use this style sheet language, which is known as the CSS. So using CSS, we can control the color of the text, the style of fonts, the spacing between paragraphs, how columns are sized and laid out, what background images or colors are used, layout designs for different devices, and screen sizes, as well as variety of other effects. Yes, students. If you will type any kind of Word document in the MS Word or any kind of word processing software, then you are typing anything, any paragraph, any chapter. But if you want that your web page looks so beautiful, so professional, then you have to apply some kind of styling, then you have to apply some kind of editing, formatting. Just like you will enhance your font style, you will enhance your font size, you will give several kind of colors also in your web page. So as similar, when we create a web page, and if we want to look it so beautiful, so graceful, then we apply the CSS. We can set the color of our text, just like as you can see on our screen, that this book's page containing the heading, the chapters heading, and you can look here and you can see there that 2 is written in a very big font size. And you can see the cascading style sheet is written in a different font style, and the matter is written in a different font style. So different font style, different font size being applied when we want to create our web pages. So it is done with the uses of cascading style sheet. Okay then. So let's explore the chapter to know more about CSS and HTML. Students, don't worry, I will just tell you how to create a web page also when your online classes will be there. In the interactive session, I will teach you how to create a simple web page by using the HTML. Then I will show you how to apply the CSS on your web pages. So don't worry, we will cover the practical portion also as well as the theory portion. So now we will understand what is CSS. CSS is a style sheet language. It is a computer language, students. Just like we did the Python language, CSS is also a language, but which type of language? It is a style sheet language, which means that it will provide only styling. It's used to describe the look and formatting of a document in markup language. Now we will understand advantages of CSS. Whenever we learn or study any kind of topic, we have to explore what are the advantages that topic giving to us. So the very first advantage that CSS gives, that it saves time. How? CSS file is once written and then the same sheet can be reused in multiple HTML pages. That means if you had applied a CSS somewhere and if you want to reapply that CSS file, so you can reuse it also. It defines a style for each HTML element and applies it to as many web pages as you want. So it do not bound you to that you are supposed to use only one place at a time. No. CSS says that you can just design one time and can use the multiple times. Okay. So the next advantage is pages load faster. That means the page on which you are applying the CSS will load faster. If you are using CSS, you do not need to write HTML tag attributes every time. Just write one CSS rule of a tag and apply it to all the occurrence of that tag. That means you do not need to write HTML again and again and again. If you are writing HTML tag, so you have to create a CSS tag and then apply it to it. Okay. Just like we do the Xerox. What we do is we create a Word document, then we take a one printout only. And then if I have to spread 20 copies of it, then I will just Xerox of 19 copies another. Getting my point? Third one is easy maintenance. Easy maintenance means to make a global change, simply change the style. You do not need to change one element one by one. If you are changing the whole page, so then apply only on style, go on to that style, and when the changes you will do in that style, it will reflect for the whole page. Getting my point or not? Just like if you are making a kind of web page in which you have applied several kind of tags, but you had given the style, then whatever the change you will apply on that style, it will reflect to you for all the page. Okay. Next is superior style to HTML. Superior style means that it enhances your HTML. It looks great when you apply the CSS. It looks professional. And it will look and feel like that we had built a kind of a very good website. Next is multiple device compatibility. Multiple device compatibility, as I have told you that if you are applying CSS in your web pages, website, then it will run on your PC also, then it will run on your mobile also, iOS, etc. Whichever the device are you using, it will run comfortably. Okay. So I hope that you are covering the advantages in very well manner. Now I will going to tell you the global web standards. Global web standards mean if we are applying CSS to our web page, then it means that we are following the web standards. We are following the ethics how to design a CSS or a HTML page. Provide more attributes. If we use CSS with the help of HTML, then it will enhance the HTML, as I have told you, but it also provides you some kind of extra, some kind of detailed attributes in your HTML web page. So I hope that you have understood the advantages of CSS. Please go through it thoroughly. Now I will tell you CSS syntax. So first I will tell you what is syntax is. Syntax is nothing but a step which is provided to us, that which kind of step we have to follow. Just like if I compare to the English, when your English teacher teaches you about the letter writing, then she or he tells you about the blank format, then you have to write to, then you have to write the headmaster, the headmistress, then you have to write his school name, city name, then you have to write the subject, then your body will contain, then the salutations, and etc and etc. So this is the perfect format you follow while writing the application or while writing the letter. Just similar to the computing, when we have certain type of fixed format, then it is known as the syntax. So syntax means which kind of format we are going to use whenever we will define the CSS tag. So cascading style sheet, that means CSS, provide easy and effective alternatives to specify various attributes for the HTML tags. Using CSS, we can specify a number of style properties for a given HTML element. Each property has a name and a value. Okay. So supposingly I am giving a heading in which I am writing the Layal Public School, then it will have a name and it will have a value also, my dear students. Okay. So this name and this value I will use for my HTML tag, for my CSS tag. Okay. And if you want to separate it, then you have to use the colon sign. The colon sign is nothing but the two dots, the two vertical dots. A CSS declaration always ends with a semicolon, and declaration blocks are surrounded by the curly braces. So these are some rule. This is the syntax. What is the syntax is, you have to use the colon sign while separating. You have to bound all your values, all your coding in the curly braces. And if you have completed your logic part, if you have completed your styling part, then you have to block it, then you have to end it with a semicolon sign. Okay. So here, as you can see, H1 is a heading in which I am providing color. Which color is yellow? So color is what? Name. Value is what? Yellow. Here I am giving font size. How much font size I am giving? I am giving 11px. That means 11 pixels. So this is the enough which I have given to my H1 heading. Then I have bounded it with the curly braces, as you can see on your screen. And if I have completed my styling for this H1 property, for this H1 selector, then I will apply this semicolon also. Okay. So selector is what? Selector is on which tag, on which attribute, on which property are you using the CSS, यानी कि किस block पे, किस attribute पे आप CSS use कर रहे हैं. It will be known as selector. The next one is declaration block. Declaration block means the semicolon part. Okay, the declaration block can contain one or more declarations separated by a semicolon, just like the example, color yellow, font size 11 pixels. What is the property? Property is which kind of enhancement you are going to use in your attributes of HTML. Just like I'm giving the color, you can give the font size, border size, etc. and etc. So which value are you giving? Just like we are using the color, but which color? You have to specify the value. So the value is nothing but the yellow. Okay. So here is this format. First you need to write the selector. Then you need to write the property on which you want to give. Then you have to specify the value. And it is enclosed in the curly braces. And if you have completed your one statement, then you have to end it with the semicolon. Okay. So, so far I have told you what is CSS, what are the advantages of CSS, how you can use the CSS by the help of format, which means the syntax. Now I will going to explain you the two properties. The very first will be the text. The second one will be font property. So the text property, what do you mean by text? Text is nothing but whatever the value, whatever the words, sentences, paragraphs you use in the digital thing is known as the text. Just like if you will write on computer on any kind of word processor, Layal Public School or your name, just like the class 8. So it will be referred as the text. Okay. So whatever we are writing in our web page, so if you want to enhance that web page, on its text, then we will use the text properties. So formatting features are required to enhance the appearance of text in a web page, as we all know that. We can do the formatting in a text also. So in CSS, the text properties provide various formatting options to style the text in a web page. So CSS provides several kind of text properties. You can change the text color, you can change the text align, you can decorate your text according to you. So we will explore the first property is the color. As the name suggests, color property is used to set the color of the text. Just like we want to give its value to yellow, to red, to green, whatever you want to do, you can apply that color to your particular text. Supposedly you are writing your name and you want to give the red color for that name, so you will write the color dot, that means that vertical dot colon, you will write the red. Okay. Next is text align. Text align is nothing but how you justify your text. Do you want to create your text? Do you want to put your text in the left side, on the right side, or on the center, or in the justified manner? So this is what is text align. Text aligns tell us on which portion do you want to give your text. The text decoration, as the name suggests, it enhances the text look, just like you can put the underline, overline, line through, blinking, etc. on your text. So here is the coding. I'm not going to describe you the coding because I will describe you the coding in the live interactive session with the help of Zoom. Okay, then I will show you how to create a web page. So now you have to do is one thing. You have to cover the theoretical portion from the recording session. And I will tell you all about the web pages and the CSS, the practical portion in the Zoom interactive session. Okay. Now I will tell you font properties. What do you mean by the font? Just like your handwriting, everyone writes. So this will be considered as text, but in which style you are writing, the style defines the font. Okay. So whenever we create a web page, so we want that our web page should be impressive and the eye-catching. So for developing a very eye-catching web page, you have to specify the font properties by the using of CSS. So font properties is nothing but when you apply the enhancement, when you apply the formatting, or when you apply the styling on your font, on your text, then it is known as the font styling. So first one is the font family. I think you can guess. The font family changes the face of a font. Okay, just like you can change this to the algebraic, you can change this to the different kind of font family, just like you can see on your screen. This information technology is written in the different format, and this this paragraph or this line is sentence is written in a different manner, different style. Okay. Next is font style. Font style, that means do you want to make your font italic, oblique, bold, etc. Font size, as the name suggests, you can enhance, you can change your font to smaller, to larger, or whatever you want to do. So this is the code, and you can see that font family called an Algerian. Algerian means this kind of font. Font color is red, so this sentence will come in the red, and font style 10 pixels. That means it will look in the 10 pixels only. So I think this is enough for today's session in the recording session. So please go through this chapter theoretically, and this will help you to solve the Google form test, which will be upcoming in fewer days. So please do the study thoroughly, and please follow the COVID appropriate behavior also. Take care, students.